Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Now, today I have for you a beginner's guide for Death's Abyss. The reason for this video is because obviously this game is now available in the global regions. And what you're going to be doing is when you reach level 50, you are going to be spending a lot of time in these 1-star dungeons. These are what we call the tier 1 dungeons. So you're going to be spending a lot of time here. And I've been playing with a lot of randoms. I've been doing a lot of matchmaking. And obviously, I've noticed that there's a lot of brand new players in the game, which is great. People that have never played in Korea, so they don't know anything to do with the mechanics or anything like that. And you can end up wiping a lot of times. So I decided I'm going to do these beginner guide videos for every single tier 1 dungeon, and then obviously once we get tier 2, because I know all of the mechanics for tier 2 as well, I will follow up the series with tier 2. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Right, so basically this is right at the start of the dungeon of Death's Abyss. So as you can see here, we have a room where we have these mobs in here. You do not need to kill every single mob. Just basically, you'll see as the gameplay obviously happens, just basically do what we are doing here. Now, these enchanted Arkham archers, they're not too much to worry about, but there is one of the mobs, which I'll show you in a moment when it happens, where you have to CC the mob. They will say a voice line, and when they do say that voice line, it's very important that the tank or a mage, he just said it then. So when he says, "I'll wipe you all," the arbiter, you need to stun him. You need to, like, the tank can either do what my tank just did, where they charge them into the wall, for example, or somebody with a staff like myself, I could either freeze them, but that's kind of annoying. So the best thing is normally you just want your tank to basically CC them. That is the easiest way. Now, when you get to this stage, always take out the healer first, because obviously it's a healer. If you don't take the healer out first, what the healer will do is they will obviously keep on healing the soldier. Now, in this next room here, you're going to see that we're going to wait for a few moments because there is 2 arbiters. So you don't want to obviously run in there and pull both arbiters immediately, because if you do, if you're more geared later on in end game and you want to come to Death's Abyss and you're obviously you're a geared group, then you can pull 2 of them. So you see here, I wipe you all, and then we stunned him, and then it's fine. If you don't stun him when he says he wipes you all, he literally does. It's a one-shot mechanic. Again, if you're obviously more geared, you can live through the burst, but this early on, you're not going to live through it. I've had many pug runs where we've literally been getting wiped because I've tried to explain to the tank, please use your stun, use your CC when he says I'll wipe you all, and whether they've not been able to get the timing right or whatever, it's caused a lot of pain. So yeah, again, you can see here most of us are focusing on the healer, until one of our guys is over there attacking the wizard. But yeah, first priority, kill the healer. Just like you would in PvP, you always want to, prioritize getting rid of the healer, because if there's no healer, then obviously the people that you're fighting are going to be able to die a lot easier. Now, as we go into here, there is a campfire here. So if you are low on health and mana and you want to just quickly, regain some of that, you can sit by the fire. But now, again, this big room here that you're going to see us walking into, you do not need to kill. I see a lot of new players, they try to kill every single mob in here. You do not need to do that. These are just the trash mob, guys. Just remember that. In all MMORPGs, in dungeons, there's always tons of trash mobs, and you do not need to waste time killing all of these. There's no point. So you kill this soldier, and then you're going to want to hug the wall, which you see us doing now. So yeah, you morph up and just hug the wall. If you don't hug the wall enough, you are going to pull aggro, and then it's going to just be a pain in the backside. Again, in this room, you can see us clearing these mobs on the right-hand side. Now, you don't have to kill any of the mobs in here apart from the first mini boss. What you can do is you can run directly up the middle. Well, sorry, there is an arbiter. You do need to kill the arbiter, but once you kill the arbiter, you can ignore the mobs on the side. you can just run directly down the middle line. But if you mess up and somebody, aggroes them, then you're going to be in a bit of bother. So for a cleaner run, I would suggest doing what we're doing here. Just kill one side, and then obviously pull the Arbiter before you go to fight the Shadowmancer, which is the first like mini boss, if you like. So the tank's going to pull aggro. We pull the Arbiter over here. I wipe you all. We're going to stun him. Then of course we're going to DPS him down, and then we're going to move on to the Shadowmancer. And again, there's a similar mechanic with this Shadowmancer here. She will say a voice line, which I'll show you. Obviously, I'll tell you when it happens. And then it's the same thing. She'll put a bunch of players up in the air, and she needs to be CC'd, because if she isn't, we're going to get wiped. So just bear that in mind. If you're the tank, do not waste your cooldowns, your CC cooldowns. Save it for the voice line queue. And of course, get out of the puddles. Never stand. Look, I'll end your life. There you go. When she says that, you need to stun her so that she doesn't literally end our lives. Because this one can also be a lot of pain. You can be jailed in here if you're constantly getting wiped over and over and over again. And again, just make sure to stay, whatever side you've cleared, whether you've cleared the left side or the right side, just make sure you stay on that side so you don't pull the other mobs that we've left. Now, you might be wondering, why do we not just kill them? You can, if you've got enough DPS and you just want to burst it down, you can. But to be honest, it's just to save time. Because, who wants to spend ages and ages fighting every single trash mob? The main reason why you come into these dungeons is obviously to go through the dungeons, have some fun, and get some loot, right? So you want to do that. You want to be in and out as efficiently, as quickly as possible. So yeah, it's up to you at the end of the day, but I would say after doing this dungeon for so many times over in Korea, just get through it as easily as you can. Now here, again, same sort of mechanic. You just rinse and repeat in this dungeon, basically. When you get to these mobs, you need to obviously make sure they don't kill you. So you CC them, burst them down, and then further in this room, you can see that there's going to be a lever, which I'm going to run up to, as you can see here now. So I'm going to run up to the lever. There's two levers, one on each side. So you need, if you have someone who has a dagger, which we did, but they obviously didn't know what to do. If somebody with a dagger can literally go invisible, they can run through all of the mobs and then just pull the lever. And because you need to pull down both sides. If you don't pull down both sides, when you try to go into the room, there will be like AoE, like venom or lava on the floor, for example, fire on the floor, and you'll be dead. So you have to make sure both levers are down. And again, you do not need to kill every single mob. Obviously, like I was waiting for them because they managed to pull another mob. I'm not sure if they thought they had to kill everything, but again, you don't. So yeah, we kill this one, then I'm going to go and pull the second lever. And once I pull the second lever, we're then going to proceed into the next room, which has a group of mobs again and another like mini boss. And I'll obviously explain. Again, to be honest, most of the stuff here in this dungeon is very, very similar. Like there's a lot of one-shot mechanics that you just have to make sure you don't, fall for. You make sure you stop that from happening. So yeah, we kill this wizard and then we enter this room very shortly. So yeah, we're going to go in here. Now you don't want to just run in here and pull every single thing at once. So pull things one by one. So as you can see here, we managed to end up pulling the Arbiter, which is what we didn't want to do. But luckily the tank was on the ball here and charged him into the wall. So we kill the wizard and then we're going to burst down the Arbiter. No problems here. And then what you're going to see is we're going to fight the second mini boss. It's on the left side. Here we go. So the squad captain, again, he has a lot of big damage abilities that you need to obviously stop from happening, because you will take a lot of damage, and also you're going to get one shot as well if the tank isn't on the ball. So yeah, apart from that, it's pretty straightforward as long as everyone's paying attention. as long as the healer is keeping everyone topped up, and the tank, like I said, is not just wasting their CC abilities. Because sometimes what I've seen is I've had a lot of pugs where, you know, it's no one's fault, they're brand new to the game, it's only just come out over here in global, so there isn't, you know, not everybody is like me who's been playing on the Korean servers for the last 10 months. So I never get annoyed with anyone because it's fine. As long as people are willing to learn and they ask questions if they're not sure. I always try to say at the start of a run, does anyone not know the mechanics? And if they don't, then obviously I try to help them. It only gets frustrating when you try to explain and then they still don't listen, or even if they don't understand, they don't tell you that they don't understand. So yeah, we get into here, and now we're about to fight the final boss of the dungeon, Carnix. This is the big one. So you jump down. You have to. There's an invisible wall basically where I'm standing. If you don't go as basically, you need to come to where I am. If you don't, when we start the boss, you're going to be locked out of the fight, and then obviously we're going to be 1 player down or 2 players down. So yeah. Anyway, tank goes to here. They activate it, and then Carnix is going to come out. Now there's a mechanic, or there's several mechanics here that Carnix obviously does. So you need to pay attention, and everybody, like, you can't have people not paying attention. Everybody needs to pay attention because of, like I said, there's a lot of one-shot mechanics. So yeah, we're going to go through it now. I'm going to try and make this as easy to understand as possible. So I'll let Carnix obviously spawn in, and then we'll get to it. So yeah, so basically you start off the fight, you just attack, you keep on attacking. Now Carnix is quite annoying for tanks because Carnix actually, which you'll see in a moment, teleports across the arena. He never stays still for too long, which I think is it's a really cool fight. Now you see here, there's these scythes that have appeared. Above your head, you can see on certain players, he puts a skull. If you're one of these players that gets a skull above your head, you need to run around the arena. And this bit here is the most important bit. When you see the black circle, everybody has to get inside of that, because you need to basically soak the damage together. So you can't have what normally happens is people see that black circle and they think it's danger and they need to avoid it. So no, just remember, you need to make sure everybody in your group needs to get inside of the circle to soak the damage, and then you need to block the fury attack that happens straight after. And then you rinse and repeat. You keep attacking Carnix. Make sure you block every single fury attack, otherwise you're going to lose a lot of HP. And then again, keep your eye out on top of your character. Look for the skull. As soon as you see the skull, run around the arena, because a lot of new players, they seem to bring the scythes through the middle of the arena. So you can see here, I don't have any scythes chasing me. So if you're like me, you have to keep on DPSing the boss. But as you saw a few times, a lot of people were bringing the scythes towards me, which you do not want to do. Avoid that. So just run around the arena, or what you can do, which is what I will show you, what I end up doing. You can run basically just in a circle. Because I end up getting the scythes on me after this. So yeah, you can either run around the actual edges or just run in a circle. Just guys and girls, please, just do not run them through the middle because you're going to do a lot of damage and you're going to stress out the healer in your team. And you don't want to do that. Just give your healer as easy as a job as possible, so that we can all stay alive, and then we can always, we can clear the dungeon with ease, so yeah. So as you can see, Carnix, like I said, it loves to teleport around the arena, which I think is a really cool fight personally. Okay, so yeah, it's not this one. On the next phase, I get the scythe chasing me as well. But yeah, they done a better job here. They weren't running it through. Unfortunately for him, unlucky, he died. So we lost 1, but it's okay. If you lose 1 player, don't worry about it. Just carry on. You can still clear the boss. You do not need all 6. Obviously, it's a lot easier and it's a lot faster, but it's not impossible. So don't worry about that. Don't give up. just keep on going. And because we lost somebody, I think that's when I get the skull above my head. So we're going to see that in a minute. But yeah, other than that, guys, that is all you need to know for Carnix and for the dungeon as a whole. I hope this has been helpful for you guys and girls. I'm going to cover up the other level 50 dungeons as well, so stay tuned for that. If this has helped you, consider subscribing to the channel and dropping me a comment down below. And I'm going to let the rest of this little fight play out, but I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Peace.